Welcome to Monday Night Football, our style. Because there actually is style. Yes. There is Monday Night Football tonight.
This is the football that matters most.
To us, it does.
At least to us.
Exactly. I know there's Chicago Bears out.
Yeah, they probably
fans out there
take umbrage with that. Yes.
That's okay though, because they're joining us instead of watching the Bears, right?
Amen.
There you go. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, alongside my counterpart, Sports Director Chris Dewar. Happy to see you again.
Great to be here. Looking forward to Monday. It's become kind of the new, I don't know, setup for the week and closure on the last week.
The new norm for you?
The new norm, so to speak. Yes, it's been fun.
You've had to adjust to that.
It's been a great adjustment, though. And when you wake up and you're excited about doing this on a Monday,
no question,
you know you're kind of in it now, and we're in the season mode.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be honest, last year on Friday nights, it got a little overwhelming.
I can imagine.
Trying to track scores, trying to line up coaches, see who was going to have cell service on their way home from a game, or who was going to have something happen where they couldn't join us. And today, now I get to spend my Monday prepping for the show, making sure all the graphics are ready, and really kind of digging into high school football. Basically, my entire Monday is that.
I confided to you, I don't know how you did a 2-hour show all by yourself all these years.
It was interesting.
Having done like a half hour, that was a lot.
Yeah.
But you did 2 hours all on your own. Now it seems like we're kind of in our element.
It is, and it's fun, and we got a great show planned for you tonight.
We do.
At 7:15, Quincy High School junior lineman Jackson Moore will be in here to join us right here in the CDS Office Technology Studio. Blue Devils coming off a victory last week at Alton, getting their first victory of the season. And I got a couple interesting questions for him.
That's awesome.
I'm anxious. He's got an older sister who's a pretty good athlete.
Oh, I've heard that rumor.
Heard that rumor too. And he's also a pretty strong kid. We may have to talk more than just football with him.
We might have to do that.
So we'll see. We got that coming up at 7:15. 7:30, channel1450.com sports director Derek Parris and I had the opportunity this afternoon to pre-record an interview talking about the Central State 8 Conference, talking about all the football scene going on there. Quincy Notre Dame plays its first Central State 8 Conference game this Saturday at Springfield Southeast. Derek, like a lot of times on Monday night, has a lot going on.
He does.
So he took some time out of his afternoon for he and I to chat a little bit, which was great. I really appreciate him doing that.
Always invaluable intel. He knows that region better than anybody.
No question. And then in hour number 2, we'll have Macomb coach Tanner Horl joining us at the top of the hour. And then we'll have Palmyra coach Justin Hutchkins joining us. And then Unity Payson's Matt Woodworth, all on the Hess Auto Agency hotline.
What do all those guys have in common?
They're all 2-0.
It's been a really good start for those teams.
It has.
I'm going to be honest with you. There are 2 of those I didn't see coming.
And one of those I will see Friday night.
Yes, you will.
So we're going to take the truck to Macomb. Macomb's playing Illini West. So I decided against going to Quincy High this week. Quincy High's got Alleman this week. I don't think it's going to be much of a game. So I figured I was okay by skipping out on that one.
And isn't it great to see the Macomb Illini West rivalry have a game of this magnitude?
Both are 2-0.
This early, yes. I think that's really good for the culture.
And I'm going to work Friday night, talking to all the Macomb people while I'm there. We're going to get a name for that field. By the time I leave Friday night, I want to come back next Monday night.
Did you see my anonymous offering from somebody who didn't want credit to name it after the B-17 bomber, the Fortress?
Yeah.
You weren't a fan?
I was not a fan. Because if you just say, welcome to the Fortress, I don't think of that. I don't think of B-17s when I hear Fortress.
Okay.
Just my thought.
There you go.
So we'll talk. We'll see what happens Friday night.
Alrighty.
So anyway, a lot of good stuff planned. And at the end of hour number 2, we're going to shuck them up.
Oh, and we've got a really good one by way of America's Hometown this week.
You got a good video of it.
I did. I was in the right spot.
Yeah. So look forward to our Shuck 'em Up coming up in hour number 2. But why don't, before we get to anything else, let's run through the scores from week 2.
Okay.
Make sure we hit on everything that's been going on. I'm old. I got to put on the glasses to look at the computer.
Club, brother.
So it's part of life. Anyway, okay, week 2 got off to a great start. We saw a lot of good games. We saw some blowouts, too.
We did. We saw some teams kind of find themselves in week 2 as well.
Starting off, Quincy High School goes to Alton, wins 33-7. Record-setting performance for the Blue Devils. 99-yard touchdown pass.
Will never be broken. That's that's all you can do.
Yeah.
And the Devils needed that desperately after the first week. I think, Boonville was good. Let's not
no, you're right.
Take anything away from Boonville.
But I also think Quincy High School made mistakes, correctable mistakes, and they learned from that. And Don't know what's going to happen. I'm really looking forward to week 5 when Moline comes to Quincy. I think that's going to decide the Big Six title. As good as some other teams in the league are, I think that's your title decider. Blue Devils may go 8-1. I'm curious to see how they go.
Blessed with a build-in to week 5, so that's a big thing right now.
Yes. So you got this week against Alleman, next week at Rocky, and then Moline.
You got to take advantage.
You no doubt about it. Should be 3-1 going into that game. We'll see what happens. Quincy Notre Dame at home last week goes up 42-0 on Alton Marquette and just cruises to the finish line.
Yeah, no surprise there. I don't think for anybody other than the fact that Quincy Notre Dame is getting a real reputation for instant, immediate offense. Second week in a row. Yes.
First week scores on the first play on a 69-yard touchdown pass. Week 2, second play, 68-yard touchdown pass. So is week 3 going to be a 67-yard touchdown pass?
It might have
on
to
play
be.
3.
If you're betting, not that we encourage that, but if you're betting at home, play those odds.
And if you're a high school fantasy, I don't even know if there is such a thing, but you better have Gavin Dolman in your lineup.
He was pretty monstrous.
He only had 4 touchdowns last week.
2 punt return touchdowns in the same game. How do you kick to the kid after the first one?
When he caught the second one, because I was there, when he caught the second one, I went, okay, is he going to do it? And then he caught a seam, and it was like, he's gone. They're not going to catch him.
No.
It was pretty impressive. You were down in America's hometown last Friday night. Hannibal 67-0 over Lutheran St. Charles.
Lutheran St. Charles only had 22 kids on the roster. It was rough, although, again,
it is rough.
Hannibal had some angst to work out after the loss in Elias, and I think they did that. I don't know that was the most impressive pushback. They'll get far more from Troy Buchanan this week, obviously. But, it was Hannibal getting right. And when that offense is moving, it moves very, very well. And the shutout is no surprise. That might be the best defensive team in our area.
Camp Point Central, ranked number 2 in Class 1A, takes down Greenfield Northwestern 24-6 in Greenfield last week.
Tough place to play, and obviously, I think that's exactly what you would have expected a final score to look like in a game with 2 really good defenses. I think that's a huge win and a build into what should be a very tough WIVC North slate for Central with Brown County playing as well as they're playing right now.
And speaking of Brown County, number 10 in the state in Class 1A, goes to Pleasant Hill, Franklin Field, wins 51-14. Not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all, and that's no slight on Pleasant Hill. I just think Brown County is that good.
Now, I think the next score surprised some people. Unity Payson down 21-6 to Carrollton. Comes back and wins 22-21. And we're going to talk to Matt Woodworth later, find out a little bit more about that comeback.
I will admit I think Unity Payson is the most pleasantly surprising 2-0 team, at least on this side of the river to this point. And, give the Mustangs credit because it was an offseason filled with adversity, and they have answered every single question every one of us has had to this point.
A team that lost in week 1, lost bad in week 1, bounced back in week 2. Winchester West Central takes on Jacksonville Route and wins 30-0.
That was more the Cougar team we thought we were going to see. And I again, that was probably my biggest disappointment of week 1. Was that there was not more pushback from the Cougars against a really good Camp Point Central squad.
Macomb beats West Hancock 42-0. Not real surprised by that.
I thought we'd see more from the Titans, honestly. That was a little staggering in that was the way it shook down. But I think Macomb, after I saw them in week 1 against Rushville Industry, West Hancock, that's a team whose defense is really, really salty. And maybe we didn't give that defense enough credit preseason.
The next one you didn't think was going to happen.
No, I didn't.
Illini West beats Decatur St. Teresa 34-15.
A healthy Illini West team is incredibly potent. We're learning that now. I think Macomb Illini West is probably the best game on the docket this week.
So too.
You're going to be there, obviously.
Yep.
I honestly don't know how that's going to shake down, to be brutally honest with you. So I think you're going to get a chance to see something dramatic up in Macomb.
We're going to find out.
Yeah.
Rushville Industry bounces back from the loss to Macomb, 40-8 over Oneida Rova. Not a surprise.
No, Ryland Reimolds with over 229 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns. It's back to normal for Rushville Industry after that season opening loss.
Final game on this side of the Mississippi River, Athens beat Pittsfield 42-19.
Athens was 0-1. They weren't going to go 0-2. No. That's a tough spot for the Sockies.
The Sockies are in for they have their hands full all season in the Sangamo.
It's such a tough conference. It really is.
All right, on the other side of the river, we had another big one that took a few people by surprise.
Number me among them.
Palmyra pasting Bowling Green, 50-18.
I have not seen a team set a better defensive edge so far this season than Palmyra.
Okay.
I mean, everything to the edge is brutal, and you are met with hostility if you try to turn the corner on that defense. It's a really good group.
And they've got some pretty good skill position players.
They're not bad there. They're not bad there at all.
And we'll talk to Justin Hutchkins in hour number 2, get his take. First-year coach with this group. Doing a phenomenal job already.
They play Macon this week, and that suddenly might be the most interesting game on that side of the river. And you know where Macon and Palmyra were the last couple of years.
That's right.
These were teams that were really down. So it can reverse in a hurry.
Monroe City bounced back from the loss to Valley Catholic, as we expected. 32-8 over Montgomery County.
A little bit of a sluggish start initially in that game for David Kirby's team, but they found themselves and kind of got right.
Harrisburg beats Clark County 34-24.
Clark County hung in that game.
Yeah, they did.
So
that's 2 weeks in a row Clark County has shown some wherewithal about itself to really battle.
We're not given moral victories here, but I think Clark County is better than 0-2 for sure.
Scotland County beats Highland 37-20.
Scotland County's pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean we've seen it in 2 successive weeks. The Tigers are 2-0. Again, Highland doesn't have a lot of numbers, and I think they're wearing down late in games is part of the problem for the Cougars.
West Tram beats South Shelby 22-6.
Absolute stunner.
Yeah,
that was a stunner in Huntsville. I did not see that coming.
Neither one of us did, and I got a feeling that South Shelby's going to have its hands full this week as well.
With Monroe City, it's not. It doesn't get any easier for Adam Gunterman and company.
After a week 1 win for Kevin Miles in his return to Mark Twain, tough one against Salisbury, 52-0 loss.
Yeah, we kind of thought that might be the come up, and Salisbury's really good.
It really is. Louisiana gets its first win of the season, beating Crystal City 34-16.
Don't think it'll be the last either, but that sets up a really interesting game this week for Louisiana, taking on a Van Far squad that got upset last week.
Right.
We've heard all along Louisiana's running game is as good as anybody's. This is a chance to prove it against a pretty good Van Far defense.
I've been told their running back, if he had more of Aeneas Williams' size, would be a lot more like Aeneas Williams.
Yeah,
nobody's going to be Aeneas Williams,
but he's very gifted.
But he's very gifted. He just doesn't have that kind of size. Right. The North Shelby beats Sweet Springs 50-48.
Yeah, that kind of surprised me a little bit as well. North Shelby's really, really good, but they're wearing a big bullseye right now, Matt. After last season,
8-man football is interesting.
It's super interesting.
So Knox County beats Keatsville 58-0.
Cooper Clare 6 touchdowns.
He's putting up video game numbers.
Yeah, he might be their version of Gannon Bowen, at this point. So, and he's a kid who's got a ton of experience and burned a little bit as a younger player. And my goodness, I saw the 8-man football folks talking all about him and touting him all over the state this week. So I don't think Cooper Clare is going to be a secret much longer.
And then our last game on our scoreboard from Southeast Iowa, Keokuk beats Mediapolis 27-14. Marvin McNutt with his first win of the year as head coach there.
Mr. Burton is going to be a heck of a quarterback when it's all said and done. The sophomore had 4 touchdown passes this week. He's got a chance to be special.
And he's only a sophomore.
Only a sophomore.
So there's a look at our Week 2 scoreboard. We will have the schedule for Week 3 coming up later this hour. But right now we're going to take a break because when we come back, we got an in-studio guest. And I want to find out if he can bench press more than Chris Dewar. And I truly believe he does. So stick around. We'll find out that and more when we come back. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
Small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes, from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
We are coming to you from downtown Quincy. I'm Matt Shuckman alongside Chris Dewar, and we have a studio guest here who I think can throw up more weight than you in the weight room.
He certainly looks the part.
He does. And here's the unique thing. As a ginger,
Yes.
there are 2 gingers on the Quincy High School offensive line and defensive line.
Wow.
Two linemen lining up. I don't know if there's another team in Illinois that can say that.
That's very impressive. And you provide information that nobody else out there can.
And we got one of those guys in here in studio tonight. Jackson Moore, junior lineman. How are you, buddy? Thanks for coming in.
Pretty good. Thanks for having me.
I know when I was talking with Coach Little and trying to figure it set up, he thought, Jackson will come in and do it. Mm-hmm. So the coming off a win at Alton, how important was that for you guys to make sure you got that win last week?
Yeah, I think it was a big motivation boost because, coming off of a good season last year and then losing week 1, we got kind of down in the dirt a little bit, and, we really needed that win.
What'd you learn from the week 1 loss that helped you last week and continues to help you moving forward?
We learned that, playing as a team really, really helps. And I think this week as a team, we did a lot better. Mm-hmm.
Continuity with lines is so important, Jackson. Do you guys feel like you have that with the guys that you've got back?
Yeah, I think so. Especially, just from over the summer, we've gotten a lot closer. Just even from last week, it's so much easier whenever you have an offensive line that knows how to mesh together well, can speak, make calls within a split second.
Life is also lessons learned. Boonville was really good up front. What did you guys learn about yourself kind of getting tested there? And is that something you can spin forward because you know what's ahead the next couple of weeks as you get into Western Big Six play?
Yeah, definitely. They had a solid defensive line. And I think, especially that week, I think we could have communicated a little bit better. We let up a sack or 2, so that really sucked. And I just think we need to communicate a lot better.
How much have you learned, or how much more comfortable maybe are you this year in your second year as a starter?
Yeah. A lot more comfortable because I remember last year opening up at Q&D, I was super nervous.
Yeah.
And a lot opening up this year, I knew what to expect. That was my biggest thing. Just last year, get into varsity experience. It's a lot different from the freshman JV level.
You have a Division I lineman starting at left tackle in Todd Smith, who, as many years as he's been on varsity, has kind of developed into a leader. But I also know you're taking on some of that role, leadership role. Mm-hmm. Is that come natural for you, or have you had to work at trying to have more of a voice?
I think it comes natural to me because, in my mind, I want what's best for the team. And, I know, sometimes if I don't speak up, then sometimes, it could go bad. So any chance I get to speak up, I do.
Rick Little at the Quincy Service Club meeting to preview the season talked specifically about your maturity. Is that something that's come easy to you? Is that just who you are as a football player, Jackson? Where does that come from for you?
I think it just comes naturally.
Okay.
It's just, I feel like, maturity is a lot, especially, being younger age, especially last year, starting on the offensive line, kind of got to have that maturity to, make plays and do stuff like that.
You were in a position last year as a sophomore on that starting on the offensive line. You have a sophomore starting on the offensive line this year in Jackson Foey. What advice have you given him so that he feels comfortable?
I kind of tell him that, if you make mistakes, it's not the world. It's not the end of the world. I was once in that spot too, so I made mistakes. It's just, you just got to think, move on from your mistakes.
He looks pretty comfortable too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's done pretty good.
Yeah.
Being an offensive lineman is a lot like being a poker player. You remember your best blocks of all time. If I asked you over the course of the last year and now 2 games, do you remember that best block that you've had in game? Is there a decleating or a pancake that stands out to you?
It's been a pancake. Let me think. I think I remember it was last year against Holton, I think.
Okay.
It was like a screen pass, and it was a screen pass to Tykel Hammers, and I ran out, made the block, and I just got him good enough so Tykel could just fit through there, and it just made me so happy.
So a second level block makes it even better.
Yeah. Well, and it was one of those, if you were a split second late with that block, he doesn't get as far as he did.
Yeah. Second level blocks are my favorite.
Yes.
Okay, you're a weight room guy. You know, obviously, dad, big lifter.
Yeah.
How much do you enjoy being in the weight room and throwing up some weight?
It's awesome. It can be so fun, you know. Hitting PRs it's just amazing.
You're a weight room guy.
I am. I don't know that I'm in that league. I'm also a 55-year-old grandfather at this point, but I can still bench press north of 300 pounds. So I hit 325 earlier, and I'm sure you're going to scoff at me, aren't you?
No.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
Especially for a guy with no hair.
Well, you know, the number of things I don't have anymore is, is a legendary list.
But obviously, Jackson, weight room is one of the things when you get away from football, one of the things you enjoy doing. I know you lift for football.
Yeah.
But in the off season, you lift because you love to lift.
Yeah.
What else do you like to do? What gets you when you need to get away from sports?
When I get away from sports, I mean, I like to go fishing a lot. I like to do that. Play a lot of video games like Madden, college football, stuff like that.
So Chris brought me a gift to the office when we both went to Mizzou. We both lived in mid-Missouri for a while. There's a TV station in Jefferson City that does a thing on Sunday nights called Rod's Big Ol' Fish. Sports director's name is Rod Smith. And if you send in a picture of you with a fish story and a big catch, he got you a pin. And this pin Chris brought in for me, Rod's Big Ol' Fish. Do you think Muddy River Sports needs to do a Big Ol' Fish?
I knew this was coming.
So. I think so.
Okay, favorite kind of fish to catch?
Bass.
Okay. Biggest one you've caught, do you know?
Is a 5-pounder?
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Very
Decent
nice,
size,
yeah. So, very nice. Now, okay, your older sister Ryan playing soccer at Culver Stockton. Off to a great start. Wildcats are undefeated.
Yeah, I know.
Have you had a chance to go watch her yet this season?
I have not.
Okay. And obviously, you're very busy with your own sport. How good an athlete is Ryan?
She's okay.
Yeah.
She's not bad.
The fact that she's playing a college sport, had success in high school, what advice did she give you, or what, anything that she taught you that you could take with you to the football field?
She just, always telling me, like, don't give up, always try hard, always hustle, stuff like that.
Ryan has a certain toughness to her, and I can imagine fighting over time to get to the bathroom or whatever had to be an experience. I don't want to embarrass Ryan too much, but do you have a story that you can tell that that maybe we could share with the public?
What do you think, Jackson?
Sure.
What do you got?
Sometimes Ryan will be like arguing with me and stuff like that, and there's sometimes you just got to bear hug her and just pick her up and show her.
That's one way to deal with it.
Boss.
But she fights back, though, doesn't she?
Sometimes.
You guys are at home Friday night against Rock Island Element, first Western Big Six game. Rock Island Element's return to varsity football. How do you approach a game where this is a team you didn't play last year because they didn't feel a varsity team?
Yeah.
How do you approach that knowing you really don't have it? You got some film on them from their first 2 weeks, but you don't know a lot about them. Other than that, how do you approach this game?
I mean, you always approach a game, you don't just doubt, like, you never doubt a team. Always be focused, always don't ever take a team for granted. Be focused all the time.
The value of carry forward momentum from this week is huge for you guys because, as you well know, the schedule is going to get tougher progressively from this point forward. Just from that standpoint, how how much of your attention is right here when everybody has told you all week, well, Alleman's this or Alleman's that? How much do you have to stay diligent and as a mature leader on this offensive line, hey, we've got the business in front of us that we've got to attend?
Yeah, I just always stay locked in with the week. You know, I'm not really worried about week ahead. I'm always worried about the game that's on this Friday.
Obviously, you know there are bigger games on the schedule. Mm-hmm. How important is it to not look ahead?
It's just not important because, you know, you start stressing about that, and so, like, you start forgetting about your duties that you have, and it's like you just I never look ahead. You know, I always just focus on the week in front of me.
Obviously, I know you guys up front are tough. Mm-hmm. Todd, Floyd, mm-hmm. Jackson, mm-hmm. and King going across the front line. Who's another kid on the team, though, that maybe you don't want to go up against because you know he's going to hit you hard, know that he's going to battle you?
I mean, Todd's always one because he's huge.
Yeah, true.
Floyd's good. He's very technical. He knows how to work a move. King, you know, he's a big kid.
And he's got the wrestling
background. Knows how to use his size to his best ability.
Can any of those linebackers give you a pop?
Ben Shelp.
Yeah.
Ben Shelp.
Figured that.
Mm-hmm. Is it true that Todd can do a somersault backflip? I've heard this rumor. Have you seen it?
I have not, but I wouldn't put it past him. He could definitely do it.
For as big as he is, he's pretty agile. You're not bad for your size to be agile, but you think of him and nobody thinks of him as being agile just because he's so big.
Yeah, he's pretty agile for his size.
Obviously, one thing we wanted to note on, 99-yard touchdown pass last week against Alton, school record. For a lineman, when you see a wide receiver streaking down the field, all the way down the field, how excited do you guys get?
I get really excited, you know. I think I'll sprint down the field like 20 yards and then be like, you know, screw this. I'm wasting way too much energy. So, you know, me and the other linemen will just jog down there celebrating with each other.
Speaking as former offensive lineman, spoken like a true offensive lineman.
Very nice. Well, I know you got stuff to get to. I know you got to get prepared for this week's game against Alleman, 7 o'clock or 7:30. We'll see what time it starts. Friday night at Flint Stadium. Really appreciate you coming in here and joining us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
And look forward to seeing you on the field soon.
Mm-hmm. Job well done.
Yes. That was Quincy High School junior lineman Jackson Moore joining us in the CDS Office Technology Studio. We are going to take a break. When we come back, I've got a pre-recorded interview with Channel 1450 Sports Director Derek Parris. So make sure you stick around and listen to that. Great intel on the Central State 8. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Why are you dressed like that?
It's Farm and Home Supply, right?
When we get in there, you're going to feel like an idiot.
See?
See?
They have everything.
No other place has it all. For farmers and everyone else too, like Farm and Home Supply.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens, or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in the healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
Joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline is Channel1450.com sports director Derek Parris. Derek, thanks for taking the time to join us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. This is such a great show, and I'm happy to be a part and try to share a little knowledge for you.
Well, I love the fact that we're getting to work together a little bit more. You know, obviously with Chris Stewart joining us and our paths crossing more with the Central State 8, especially with Quincy Notre Dame playing football there. It's an opportunity for us to promote each other's products.
Absolutely, and to say that I get to work with you two is an absolute honor, and I just hope I can live up to a little bit of that standard. So thank
you. You're killing it over there in the capital city. So
we're doing
we're 2 weeks into the football season, and it's been a lot of fun so far. What have you enjoyed most, or what has jumped out to you the most after 2 weeks?
Well, I'm sure it's been a lot of fun over there, especially for Quincy Notre Dame. I mean, they have just blown the doors off teams to start the season, and yeah, we've had a great start over here as well with the Central State 8 teams all having, the crossover games to get started. And we haven't been able to see Quincy Notre Dame yet, but that obviously quickly changes. This week, we have gotten to see kind of our big heavy hitters so far with Rochester, with Sacred Heart Griffin, with Glenwood. And so, yeah, we're off to a great start to the season, and even had some great surprises, with Lanphier picking up their first win in 3 years, and Southeast getting a win last week. It's nice to see a lot of teams have success in these crossover games.
It was interesting because I got to see Lanphier when they played in the Week 0 scrimmage against Quincy High School, and the thing that jumped out to me about Lanphier was their defense. They had a pick six right off the bat in that scrimmage, and I thought, okay, if depending on who they play, their defense was going to give them a chance.
Absolutely. The biggest thing that they preached going into the year was discipline, and just staying focused on being a disciplined team and keep working toward getting a win, and they ended up doing that in week 1 against Lincoln. And so exciting to see them continue to build that program. Braden Miller's done a great job taking over kind of on short notice last year, and yeah, obviously they've struggled being competitive in the CSA the last couple of years, so it was great to see them get a win to start the season.
I know a lot of people around here know the Rochester legacy, and obviously Quincy Notre Dame and Rochester met quite a few times over the years in the playoffs, and Derek Leonard's relationship with Quincy University coach Jason Kilday kind of brings it all kind of full circle. But that Rochester-Lincoln game was fun, wasn't it? Mount Zion game, excuse me.
Yeah, early running for game of the year so far, and I think you'll say they left a lot on the table in terms of that, but that takes nothing away from Mount Zion, because those were 2 of the top-ranked teams in 4A, and they certainly played like it on Friday night. It was such a great atmosphere. I had to park about 2 miles away to get to the field, and Rochester rallies back from down double digits to win that game. Their running back Caden Stout was just an absolute monster, and it was kind of weird. You got to about the fourth quarter, and Rochester was down, but they were able to run the ball so well, and they weren't really able to throw the ball against the Mount Zion defense, that it was like, wait, is this the Rochester team that we're used to seeing, where they're just going to ground and pound and run and run and run, and Mount Zion was the complete opposite. They couldn't run the ball at all, and they were just throwing it to their 2 great wide receivers, and J.C. Anderson, who's going to Mizzou, or going to Ole Miss, and it was just like, man, this is a weird game, and Rochester ends up winning with Caden Stout rushing for almost 400 yards, which is just wild.
Wow. Well, that's just incredible. I think the thing that jumps out at me when you think about that is I watched some of those highlights you guys had online, And for any of our listeners and viewers they need to go check out channel1450.com's highlights, not just of that game, but all of them, because what you did with the overlay of the radio call was really cool.
Yeah, thank you. It takes a lot of time, but I'll be honest, I sat Saturday and listened to the border war and put that video together, and it was awesome to listen to Seth Kuntz call that game for Mizzou.
Yep.
Obviously not thing that I wanted, but what a great game it was. And then to be able to put the highlight package together with our radio guys is always fun. It just takes a lot of time to put together, but the product is well worth it in the end.
By the way, I do have my Mizzou cap on for the show tonight.
Well, that's okay. You earned it. You earned it this week.
And we get real deep into Central State 8 conference play this week, starting with the division games, and obviously Quincy Notre Dame coming over to Springfield to take on Southeast on Saturday. What do you expect to see in the Central State 8 as we get going into the divisional games?
I think everybody's excited about these games, but I think you'll see a lot of the same things you saw last year, where those teams that competed for the conference titles in both the East and the West are certainly going to do that again. I mean, Glenwood has looked like an absolute machine when it comes to the teams that they played, beating Edwardsville and beating last week. SHG is, I mean, I'm sure Quincy Notre Dame is kind of looking ahead the schedule a little bit to their trip in week 4 here, and so SHG picks up a win against Mascoutah last weekend, and really, I'll tell you, they're trying to get healthy. They've been really banged up to start the year, and so they've been moving a lot of pieces around. Still a lot of juniors on that team for SHG. And then another team that I'm sure Quincy Notre Dame is looking at is Springfield High in terms of the game that they had last year, where Springfield High looked really good to start the year, and then we didn't really know what to expect from MacArthur, and MacArthur comes over and beats them in a 1-point game this last Friday, to where that was a great kind of crossover test to see, the East and the West and what we're going to see from both those teams. And I think a lot of people were woken up by how good MacArthur was in that game. Springfield High is going to put up points no matter what. So that their offense is very lethal. They got an all-state quarterback returning in Brody Scheffler and multiple guys on the outside where they're going to play at the D1 level next year or the year after.
I'll be honest, I was one of those guys that was surprised by the outcome of that game. I fully expected Springfield to win that by a couple touchdowns. So MacArthur impressed me.
Yeah, really did. And just the way that they were able to step it. And that was the first start for that quarterback. I'm not sure if their quarterback got hurt after week 1 or what, but he's a big, kind of strong guy who stepped in, and that was his first start, and he scored 5 touchdowns. So the Generals are going to be a problem again this year.
I know you mentioned SHG. SHG brings a lot of people back, and yet they're still kind of young. I mean, they still have a lot of guys that are going to be there for another year or two. So they're continuing to build, aren't they?
Yeah, the main names that you'll hear, Cam Brinkman at quarterback, Mikey Gresh at running back, Drew Ward on the outside, Andrew Walters on the outside. All those guys are juniors, but they all got, significant time last year. A couple of those guys, won the state title in baseball last year. So, I mean, it's just a matter of getting the reps and getting that experience, because these guys are athletes, they're winners. And then you can see that it's coming. It's just a matter of time. And take nothing really away from their week 1 game against Christian Brothers College, because if you see the team play, they would compete against a lot of, probably any team in the state in terms of what we see in the competition we face.
What do you enjoy most? And we'll get to a little bit more about the area maybe in a touch. But what do you enjoy most about covering the Central State 8?
I think probably the rivalries that have developed, whether it's the communities, the programs, whether it's the coaches, whether it's the athletes who play each other in different sports, and then you kind of see them, do that in football or whatever it is. I mean, there's nothing quite like getting ready for the SHG Rochester game, even though it's not Nerds anymore, or even pulling up to Chatham when Rochester's coming to town, and you can just feel the energy. I mean, it when you get to the game, it's there, and then it just builds as the clock winds down. And then, they meet in the middle and they shake hands, and just that feeling where you can feel it from both sides, man. I know you know it, but there's just nothing like that feeling when it comes to covering high school sports, and just the energy that it brings and the excitement. And then, okay, let's strap them up and let's do battle for 3 hours and see what happens.
What we have to remind people is the channel1450.com doesn't just cover the Central State 8. You guys get out in the area, so the Central Illinois area, quite a bit. Is there anything when you look at the Sangamo or any of the other conferences you guys cover, anything that jumps out at you that, people should be looking forward to?
Yeah, Maroa is a wagon yet again, and I know Quincy Notre Dame, probably has a rough spot hearing that because of what happened last year and how their season ended. But obviously they'll be 2A again this year. So Maroa looks like an absolute wagon yet again. Williamsville kind of getting back to the powerhouse that they've been. They've only won one playoff game in the last 2 years, and that has really bothered them going into this year. So they have a really high-powered offense again. And just the overall excitement in the Sagamore. There's a lot of teams going into the year that were really happy. I mean, Riverton being back at the varsity level, and then they get a win in week 1. How exciting was that? And just what a great story. And then, it's Athens, another powerhouse program that didn't have a great year last year. So many different things, and this in the smaller towns when you're talking about 1A, 2A football, that it means so much to those community programs that to see those towns on Friday nights. I mean, everything is closed in the town, and there's nothing quite like that feeling of driving through, and you get to the field and you just see everybody there and having a great time, and that the feeling of optimism around 16, 17, 18-year-old kids is just incredible.
And I know this is a football show, but the soccer and the volleyball in the Central Illinois area and the crossover games we see. I saw SHG take on Quincy Notre Dame in volleyball on Saturday. There are so many good programs throughout, whether it's our area of West Central Illinois, your area of Central Illinois, in all sports, that the fall's a lot of fun.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I think, if you bring up volleyball, you have to talk about a team that we cover and are going to cover a lot this year is the Glenwood Titans. They came over and played Quincy in that first week, and they haven't lost since, and they're now ranked the number 1 ranked team in 3A with just a loaded roster. So that was a huge matchup in week 1, and thank you for sending us video from that one, because that was Glenwood and Quincy. And with soccer, there's so many great teams around here with the Chathams, with the Rochesters, with Springfield High, SHG, and we see that a lot where they have these. I think it's scheduled for next week, actually, the crossover game where they play at IC with Quincy Notre Dame. Just a lot of those great programs that'll meet throughout the year and then get ready for postseason, and it's great to see that relationship with like the Chathams and the QNDs, where I get excited to see that game on the Hilltop I think it's it's a Wednesday night in the middle of the week next week, to where the soccer around here is really good, and we're truly blessed with some great teams and programs.
I'm excited. Chatham Glenwood comes over here in a couple weeks on a Saturday afternoon to play Quincy High School in soccer, and yes, we will be sending you video of that if we can.
Get to that.
But
it's going to be fun to watch.
One of my high school buddies, Rick Bridle's son, plays for Chatham Glenwood.
Yeah.
And Rick's brother, Ron, is the head coach at Quincy High School, and his son, Ethan, is the starting goalkeeper. So you're going to have first cousins going head-to-head in that matchup, along with an uncle coaching the opposite team.
That's really cool. And if I only know Ryan, obviously the Glenwood defender, but he's a very aggressive style of play, and so I don't think he'll hold anything back against his cousin.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and we're looking forward to the rest of football season. I'm excited to get over in your neck of the woods as the season goes on, and I really appreciate you taking time to chat with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Like I said, really excited about this year and getting the chance to see Quincy Notre Dame on Saturday, coming over here to the newly renovated Southeast facility, so people who are making the trip get the chance to see a great facility that District 186 has put together and put some money into. And so
fantastic.
It's a great spot on the east side.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again. Let's catch up again soon and talk more football.
Sounds great. I'm always happy to do so. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. That's Derek Parris, sports director at channel1450.com, joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. We will be back in just a moment with more Muddy Night Lights powered by Farm and Home Supply.
When you trust your healthcare needs to MDH, you'll receive the highest quality, compassionate care from our nationally accredited medical departments and award-winning staff. We are here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, providing exceptional care right here in Macomb. We also accept Aetna, Healthful Inc., Blue Cross Blue Shield, and most other insurance plans for your convenience. McDonough District Hospital, your regional healthcare partner, growing our legacy one patient at a time.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Kitchen and Bath Gallery of Quincy. Trained craftsmen and expert contractors with friendly professional service. Our design team helps with every step of the process, guiding you from a vision to reality with uncompromised service. Trust your home to the local experts. Get a free quote today. From concept to creation, Kitchen and Bath create remarkable spaces and innovative builds. Kitchen and Bath Gallery, your home reimagined.
Not sure you're ready for retirement? With over 25 years of experience, the team at Benson Financial Group will meet you right where you are and craft a plan that's right for you. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Welcome back to our CDS Office Technology Studio here in downtown Quincy. Matt Shuckman, Chris Dewar. Really enjoyed chatting with Derek Parris. I know you always have had a great relationship with him and with channel1450.com, as have I. But it's always great to catch up with him.
It is, and it's particularly good after the border battle to talk with Derek. Yeah, kind of fun this week for a change.
Since he's a Chicken Hawk fan.
We still love him.
You know what we don't have?
What's that?
We've got a collection of helmets. We got some others that aren't on display here. We need a Mizzou helmet in here.
We kind of do at this point.
Greg Logston, I hope you're watching. I hope you're listening. I know you can get it done for us. I think I'm going to send him that clip, too.
He's the man.
So it would look really nice in here, especially during our podcast.
I would agree. So spruce the place up. And again, as you touched on, Derek knows more about Central Illinois sports than any human being alive. So he's a great resource to all of us.
And if all goes well, you'll get to see him on Saturday at Springfield
I'm looking
Southeast.
forward to it because it'll be my first chance to see Quincy Notre Dame in person, and I'm looking forward to catching the show.
And like he just mentioned, revamped stadium in Springfield Southeast. So District 186 over in Springfield doing things with their facilities, which is great to see.
Well, and we now have a base comparison with what the wonderful job they've done to Porter Stadium here to see another renovated stadium, and great to see that commitment to our kids.
So again, it's going to be a fun weekend. We got 3 Saturday games this week,
which is always one of my favorite things to do.
Part of that was, Jacksonville Route doesn't play at a stadium that has lights.
No.
So Friesen Field?
Friesen Field on the former campus of McMurray, which is a really neat atmosphere. Yeah. People go and sit on the hill, they sit in the stands. I think you're really going to enjoy it.
Okay, so depending on where I get to park, we'll see how that works. If I don't get to park my truck somewhere nearby, where should I sit?
If you don't get to park, I would say on the hill because you can see everything.
Okay.
Either side of where the bleachers are, sit on the hill and you can take it at all. And you know how you enjoy that vantage point from up a little high and you can see plays develop that way? I think that's one of the real charms of Friesen Field.
All right,
swing by Burger Board and get some of the best onion rings in the tri-states in Jacksonville while you're there.
I don't think that fits my current diet.
Oh, that's right, yes.
We'll see.
Apologies.
Yeah, I go see the doctor next week, so
he might
not want to hear that.
Ixnay, cut.
We got to stick to the plan.
Yes, the plan is paramount.
And we've got a plan for this weekend on where we're going to send guys. We're going to have guys at a bunch of different games. Thanks to our partners at Excel Physical Therapy, we're bringing you every Saturday morning the Muddy River Blitz, which has been widely popular. And our guys are starting to get the hang of it, of getting some video interviews after games. So our staff, I think, is doing a great job of trying to provide more than what normally we've done in the past because of limited bodies and limited resources. I think we're trying to improve what we do story-wise, video-wise, graphically, photo, all that stuff. We're trying to get better each week.
We're an alternative to the norm, you know, and I think football deserves more than a 45-second clip.
Yeah.
It deserves more than a 2-paragraph story, and that's what we're trying to do.
So, a big week ahead, though. We got a lot of, again, 3 Saturday games, but we got a lot of good Friday night games. And let's take a look at what's going on in week 3. As we talked about with Jackson Moore, the Quincy High School offensive lineman who was here in studio with us a little bit ago, Rock Island Element at Quincy High School. Good way for the Blue Devils to start the Western Big Six season. And for me, it's get that one out of the way.
It is. I'm also curious as a football guy, just seeing where Alleman is at, because I think the world is better.
And I don't think they've been bad the first 2 weeks.
I think the world is better with a viable Alleman out there.
And we know Alleman football has a tradition.
It does. A very rich
especially when Mike Tracy was coaching them. I mean, you can go back, and Alleman was a state contender on multiple years, on multiple levels. So if Alleman can get back to that, it's a very viable force in the Big Six if it can get back to it. And it's good to see them back playing varsity football.
Amen. No disagreement anywhere on that.
We've mentioned Quincy Notre Dame going to Springfield Southeast on Saturday at America's hometown, Troy Buchanan at Hannibal. A stiffer test than last week for the Pirates.
Probably the second biggest test on their schedule outside of Elias this year. So should be fun.
And then we dive into the WIVC this week. Camp Point Central goes to Triopia. Should not have much of a problem if the Panthers play the way they're capable of.
No, they shouldn't, although I will point out Triopia is coming off a big win. Granted, it was North Green, so Triopia is better than what they've been. I don't know that they're good enough yet to stand toe-to-toe with Camp Point Central. There aren't many teams that are.
True. One of the teams that might be, and we'll see here in a few weeks if that's the case, is Brown County. That'll be a Saturday afternoon game, as we mentioned, at Jacksonville Route. I'm excited to see the Hornets.
You should be. And Route Catholic has struggled to get any kind of offense going. Brown County is not the team you want to try to find an offensive spark against. That defense is just ridiculously good from top to bottom.
And one of the teams we're going to talk about here in hour number 2, Unity Payson, on the road again this week at Beardstown.
Unity Payson has been, as we said at the top, one of the most pleasant surprises, if not the most pleasant surprise in the area at this point. Again, Sawyer Allen monster week last week in bringing his team back. Carrollton is a really difficult team to play and a really difficult place to try to find momentum. And whatever the Mustangs did, they did right that second half.
No question about it. Calhoun at Pleasant Hill. Wolves need a bounce-back game. Not sure the Warriors allow that.
Again, that's not who you want to have to play.
Winchester West Central coming off its big victory at against Jacksonville Route last week. Takes on North Green on Saturday.
Should be 2-1 on Saturday, and it'll be nice to see what Coach Coltis and company can spin out of 2 games worth of momentum.
A 2-0 versus 2-0 matchup taking place in Macomb. I don't know if we're going to call it the airfield, the tarmac. I don't know yet. I'm going to come up with something. I'm going to talk to the people there. I'm not leaving Friday night without at least a couple different options.
Well, you're not leaving without seeing an incredible football game on paper as well. And, Illini West is healthy. And, Isaiah Knotts has come back and done some things to make that offense more diverse. They kind of go as he goes, and Macomb has been filthy defensively against 2 pretty talented offenses the first 2 weeks.
West Hancock at Abingdon Avon. Titans got to bounce back from last week.
They need to find something at A-Town this week, and we'll see how that transpires.
Rushville Industry goes to Princeville.
Again, I remain a believer in the Rockets and Brian Lafferty's team, and I know it was a rough first week against Macomb, but again, I think if Rushville Industry can weather a couple of early injuries, every step they take and they get a little better, they're going to be formidable come the end of the season. And I think that's a team that may be 7-2, 8-1 come playoff time.
Stanford Olympia at Pittsfield. Sauky's got their hands full of trying to get off the over ski.
It gets progressively harder for them. And it's just now you're measuring yourself against Stanford Olympia.
That's the beast of the Sangamo.
And that's rough.
Flip side of the river, go to the Missouri side. Monroe City at South Shelby, last year's district championship game, 6-0 affair. Just a barn burner of a game. I don't think this one shapes up the way that one shaped up.
There will be no rematch this year, that's for sure, with South Shelby sliding down to Class 1. Again, South Shelby's long-term goal is to get good by district time and then to be
think
formidable, and they will.
Yeah.
This is a tough test, and this is a game that gets you prepared for it. South Shelby has had no easy go of it in the early season.
Not at all. Clark County at Centralia. Clark's fought.
They have.
I don't think they get over the hump this week, but I think they'll put up a fight.
And Ethan Allen will have something in his repertoire of play calls that exposes something in Centralia.
So it'd be interesting to see how they come out, but I like the fight of the Indians through the first 2 weeks. Highland goes to Brookfield.
Tough place to play.
Going to be tough on the Cougars. Bowling Green at Wright City. I know nothing about Wright City. How about you?
I know a little bit about Wright City, and it's not the Wright City it's been the last couple of years. However, Bowling Green after last week, with what happened at Palmyra, this is a crossroads moment for the Bobcats to show that they can bounce back because they were absolutely manhandled in that second half by the Panthers.
Winfield at Mark Twain. Mark Twain's got to bounce back in some way, shape, or form after last week's tough one.
I don't know what to make of Winfield. I actually haven't broken that game down yet. I would think that Mark Twain is probably better positioned against Winfield than they were having to go to Salisbury last week.
Van Far at Louisiana.
Wildly interesting game. Yep. Wildly interesting game with Van Far losing to Russellville last week and Louisiana getting the win over Crystal City. These are two teams with great offensive backfields, if healthy. I don't know what the status of Mr. Douglas is yet this week, if Caden's back for Van Far or not. Van Far's got a really good defense, so this should be a real neat test for how far Louisiana has come and how far they've grown up front in front of that skill position talent.
North Shelby at St. Paul Lutheran.
I think North Shelby. I think we start seeing North Shelby take the steps now. After sort of a weird week last week with a Sweet Springs team that was better than I think people thought. I think this is a chance for against a traditional power in St. Paul Lutheran, who got beat opening week, by the way. I think this is a chance for North Shelby to kind of find themselves.
Schuyler County at Knox County.
Knox County, I want to believe in Knox County.
I know you
very, very much.
You've been talking about this.
I want to believe in Bruce Benoit's team and see where they are at the back end of this week. And Schuyler County has been a team that traditionally has been a thorn in the Eagles' side. That has a lot of my attention this week.
Okay. And then West Burlington, Notre Dame at Keokuk.
So Keokuk coming off a really great win at Mediapolis last week. West Burlington, Notre Dame has all kinds of skill position weapons. If the focus last week was on Keokuk getting its offense right, this week it's on Mason Klaus and the defense and making stops because you got a Division I linebacker there tracking down some pretty good Division II level offensive talent, maybe even higher than that when it's all said and done. This is a real litmus test on the Chiefs' defense.
Okay. Obviously, if you want to see a breakdown of who you think is going to win these games, go to Tourisms this week because you will have predictions. You have had every week.
And some of them may even be right for a change this week. The first 2 weeks have been rough.
I was going to ask. I haven't looked to see how you did last week. Have you gone back and figured it out?
It was better than last week. I think I was batting 75% this week, so a C after a D in the opening week.
Okay.
It was not a good opening week.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah, not a good opening week for me.
Well, I'm anxious to say. I'm curious about some of your picks this week.
Okay. Hey, I did not see Palmyra coming, and I will admit that. And I did not see. I thought Unity Payson was going to struggle out of the gate, and I didn't. To be honest with you, I didn't know if we'd see Sawyer Allen at all. We've seen a really good Sawyer Allen.
Do your power rankings change this week?
They will change some this week, and I think it'll be reflective of the fact that we have seen some teams really step forward.
Okay.
And you know what? Early season stuff, we rely a lot on reputation, and we rely a lot on past tradition. We're seeing that get ripped away very quickly by teams like Palmyra and Macomb, who are a little more upstarty than maybe we all realized walking into it. And it's nice to finally have competition to know who's who. You know, that's right. That's what it's about. It's about sorting it out.
You mentioned Macomb. Let's take a break because when we come back, Macomb coach Tanner Horl is going to join us. And I've got a couple intriguing questions for him.
Are you going to ask him about his batting stance?
Well, I've seen some video. He's a football coach.
No, and a heck of a football athlete.
He's not a professional wiffle ball player. I will say that.
So I heard.
We'll see. So that's on the other side of this commercial break. So make sure you stay tuned. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in the healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
How do you get more value but pay less? We'll try one of our family of private brands for a private brand bonanza happening now at your local Farm and Home Supply. In clothing, we got 25% off all Noble work pants for both men and women. And check out the thread grip flannels under 30 bucks. Moving to our pet department, we have a wide selection. Get $10 off the Wildology dog food, $8 off the Wildology cat food, and then $4 off the Heartland Harvest dog food. If you got some work to do in the garage, we got 5 quarts of motor oil from Harvest King for $14.99 or degreasing wipes for under 10 bucks. Find all these deals and a lot more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough Districts Hospital.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, alongside Sports Director Chris Dewar, as we head into hour number 2 of episode 3 of Monday Night Lights.
3 wonderful guests, all undefeated, coming up in the next hour. This should be some fun conversation.
I'm looking forward to this first guest because I got to find out about his wiffle ball career, because I saw some videos over the weekend that made me go, okay, maybe it's good he's a football coach and not coaching baseball. Tanner Horl, what do you think?
I think I might need to hang up. That's a rough intro.
Well, for a guy 2-0.
You can blame your dad for sharing videos.
Oh, man. That's brutal.
Did you get struck? Did a second grader strike you out?
You know, he's got an arm. He was like 5 feet away. I'm swinging, free swinging. Going for dingers only, but he got me.
And you fully expected to come in here and talk football, didn't you?
You know, I thought so. But I guess it's still baseball season.
Well, you get to come. You'll be at home Friday night, 2-0, 2 good weeks for the Bombers. What have you been most impressed with by your team?
I would say our young guys stepping up. We had a lot of new faces this year. And coming week 1 with Rushville and their experience returning, I thought our guys just kind of jumped right into the fire and they got up to game speed really quick, and we saw it again in week 2.
I look at what you were able to do defensively against 2 teams with a lot of offensive weapons. West Hancock, obviously, you start throwing Hunter Froman into the mix. That's as good a wide receiver as there is out there. And then Ryland Reimolds in week 1 among the many other Rushville industry backs. And both times your defense really responded, Tanner. That group seems to have found some traction pretty quickly. What do you attribute that to?
I give a lot of credit to Coach Wilson. He's an outstanding defensive coordinator, someone I'm really lucky to have and lean on. He's got a lot of coaching experience at the college level, and he's been a head coach, so he's got our guys prepared every week. He's got a great game plan. The kids love playing for him. He puts them in the right spots, and then our guys have been flying around. We let them have fun. They fly around and rally to the football. I think the big key the last 2 weeks is not allowing the big play. We didn't let Reimolds get get too loose. He had a couple big 15-yard gains, but he didn't have that 60-yarder or that 30-yard touchdown. And we were able to get off the field when we got those stops. And then Kyler Norton did an outstanding job Friday night against Hunter Furman. I fully went into that game expecting to give up 1 or 2 deep shots, and Kyler locked him down for the most part. He had one 15-yard gain, but Kyler did outstanding.
But you also pitched a shutout last week. What's the reward for your guys when they pitch a shutout?
Well, they actually scored on the last play.
Okay, so
they gave them 6.
Oh, okay. Because I've seen on the IHSA website it says 0. We got a stat sheet from West Hancock that said 6. I was kind of confused.
So the last play, they got loose, and there was a blindside block, and they decided it was after the touchdown. So they counted the touchdown, and they didn't try the extra point. Okay. So they got 6, but we're gonna reward our guys still. I know if you've seen our previews before, I'm always repping the Bomber defense T-shirt.
Yep.
Coach Wilson came up with it. So the last 3 or 4 years, we've had a Bomber defense shirt. It's awesome on the front, and it's got a saying on the back, whether it's "Welcome to the Dark Side" or "Take Cover." Our kids love them. We got people in the community that want them, but they're kind of only for team personnel and defensive players that earn them. So I think after these first 2 weeks, our guys deserve them.
Very nice.
That is awesome. Let's talk a little bit. I know you've seen film of Jacob Kelvin's team, and obviously Illini West, with what they've done to this point, represents an escalation for you. What stands out about the Chargers? What concerns you, impresses you about what they've done to date?
I think they're impressive across the board. I think they're a really good football team. They should be one of the top teams in the conference when it's all said and done. They're really big up front, and those guys move pretty well for their size still. They got a lot of speed on the back end defensively and running the football. I think Ethan Carlisle is one of the best QBs in the area, and then their running back as well. So I thought they're really talented. There's a lot of things that concern me. So we're going to have a really good week of preparation, both offensively and defensively, because we can't allow that big play. Kind of make them snap the football again, and hopefully we can get stops in the end. And then offensively, we just kind of got to do what we do, protect the football, block up front, and let our skill guys go to work.
You talk about Illini West and its talent. I think you guys got some skill players that are pretty talented. Have you seen those guys emerge as leaders and kind of lead this team? A guy like a Watson and some of your other guys that are some of your skill position players.
Yeah, they've been great leaders. I mean, Drew's been a captain for this is his 3rd year now, so he's been around the program. He's been a leader for us. He's there all summer, whether he's playing basketball, baseball, football. He's at every lift. He's at every team function. He's picking guys up. He was picking guys up when he was a freshman on the sideline. So he's an outstanding leader. He's another coach out there. I mean, we have conversations all the time. It's like talking to another adult. So Drew's been a huge leader for us. Drake's really kind of stepped into that role this year. Another kid that's in his 3rd year of varsity football. So he's kind of seeing a lot of things, and he's doing a much better job leading this year. And then one that, moving. It's really hard to be a leader, I think, when you're new to a program. But Carter Haven's work ethic from the moment he came in, and his attention to detail has been outstanding. I think the other kids are kind of picking up from that, and going by the example that he leads, and probably push those guys as well because he's, inching for their spots. So those skill guys are really nice to have.
It's got to be fun for you to have a Carter Havens, almost a slash guy of the highest order, and try to figure out new ways to use him because he competed for the quarterback position. He's looked good when you've used him in the backfield. He's looked good catching the football. If you watched him in basketball, he is just a dog getting after people. There's a whole canvas of things that he does that have to make your job more fun and Caden Nupp's job more fun as a quarterback as well.
Yeah, I think what Drew said early in the summer is I don't think I've ever seen a kid play so hard. I think that describes Carter perfectly. But I thought I did a terrible job utilizing him week 1. I only got him the football, I think, 2 times. This week we were able to kind of move him around a little bit. We put him in the backfield. He broke off a couple really nice runs. We put him at quarterback one time. He caught a deep pass. So for jumping into a brand new offense, he's picking up everything really quickly. And I think we're going to continue to utilize him in different spots. It's really fun to have that versatility because you can't just key on Drew. You can't just key on Carter. We've had, I think, 5 or 6 different guys score on offense this year. So he just adds a whole nother dimension to our offense.
Okay, Tanner. Chris and I threw out the idea on one of our Mud Brothers podcasts that McCombs Field needs a name. And we got a great response and all kinds of names. Do you have an idea for what we should call the Macomb football field?
I always like the runway.
Okay.
But the airfield, I've heard a lot of really cool ones. I've been following on Facebook. I'm really bad at social media. But I've been following and reading up on it. I like the airfield. I liked the runway because we have the hangar.
Yep.
And then yours, our kids really had a good laugh with. I don't know if that one's gonna fly.
I don't think so. I think we've pushed that one to the side.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
That happens. But
yes.
But it got a bunch of laughs and it got people. I got a bunch of messages about it. So.
I hope start the conversation.
Yes.
Exactly. So I will be there Friday night. So maybe we can come up with a name by the time I leave. Whatever it is, the runway, the airfield. By the time I leave there, maybe we can come to a consensus.
We gotta have something.
I think so too. The hangar is a fantastic name for the gym.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
But the football field needs a name. It just. Wouldn't it be cool to see drive in and see this big sign, welcome to the runway, welcome to the airfield?
That'd be awesome.
So
we need to get something on our press box anyway. So maybe a name.
There you go.
Nice.
That would be awesome. You obviously, you do a lot in the community. I know the Downtown Athletic Club and everything, and you're 2-0. And I'm not sure. There were a lot of people outside of your program that thought you'd be in this position. And I know when Macomb is good at things, it becomes a very special community very quickly in terms of the support and the love and the enthusiasm for it. And you've got those people. Have you noticed people ramping up just based on what you've done the first 2 weeks, Tanner, and kind of wrapping their arms around this particular football team? Because they're fun to watch.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of I won't say doubters, but just a lot of question marks going into this year. And I think we've kind of stopped a little bit of that. We still got a lot of work to do, though. But it'll be exciting to get out for our first home game. I think we'll have a huge crowd. Unfortunately, the volleyball team's down in Williamsville and the golf team somewhere else. So the student section won't be as packed as a typical Friday night. But, it's already starting to kind of pick up. They're noticing a little bit that what our kids are doing. Macomb's outstanding. When you have a great program or a great season going, everyone's showing out and go around town and everyone's talking about it. So hopefully we can get back to that point like we did a couple years ago, but we got a lot of work to do.
Well, Tanner, we appreciate you joining us. I look forward to being there Friday night. And who knows, maybe we'll do a special Shuck on a Truck Friday night for our viewers.
Yeah, we got a tough one first. We gotta take care of business against a really talented Illini West team.
Well, awesome, man. Well, go get ready for that, and I will see you Friday night. And thanks again for joining us.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
See you, buddy.
Take care, Tanner.
That was Macomb coach Tanner Horl joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. We are going to take a break. When we come back, another 2-0 coach is waiting to talk to us, Palmyra's Justin Hutchkins. So we will be back to talk more football right here on Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary healthcare. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional, why go anywhere else?
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
We're going to head straight to the Hess Auto Agency hotline because Palmyra coach Justin Hutchkins is waiting to talk about his 2-0 Panthers. Coach, thanks for taking the time to join us tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Panthers off to a 2-0 start. Life is good in Palmyra, isn't it?
It's not bad right now. We're doing all right.
Okay, I know it's first year as a head coach. Have you settled in? Yeah, have you got all the boxes unpacked? Have you settled into Palmyra?
Yeah, so back in June, I lived in my brother-in-law's basement, and then at the beginning of July, we got the family here, and shortly after, we have everything unpacked and mostly decorated, and we've got a couple more things to do, but we're pretty settled in.
But you don't get much time at home right now, do you?
Absolutely not.
So you moved to town and you inherit a Culver Stockton Wildcat on your staff. How quickly did it take you to realize, and maybe you've heard the legend of Dalton Huffman as a linebacker at Culver Stockton, but how quickly did you realize that you had inherited one of the best young defensive coordinators anywhere in the state of Missouri?
Very quickly. I already knew I had one before I went there, and if anyone kind of knows me, I was a D coordinator before I took this job, when I was the head coach at Charleston as well. And I ask around, and I do a lot of research before I do some things, and I already knew about him. He actually broke my buddy Brent Holtrop's tackling record.
Yes.
At Culver Stockton. So I definitely know about young Dalton Huffman. He's a good dude.
And your defense has been good so far through 2 weeks. What have you been most impressed with defensively from the Panthers?
I think our swarming and we just get after it, man. Like, we are fast off the ball and we swarm and we just try to inflict as much pain as possible. And those guys take a lot of pride in doing that, getting to that ball and trying to make some plays.
I think you set, as I was there on Friday night, I think you set as hard a defensive edge as anybody I've seen in a long time. And that's reflective of your kids. When you've got a Henley Snow, when you've got a Wyatt Augsburg, kids who just seem to love contact, and they're clean about it too. It's not like they're trying to get away with something. They just like to drop a shoulder on people to let you know they're there. That has got to make the job so much fun, and the enthusiasm just sort of infectious in your ranks right now.
Absolutely. Our defense, like we pride ourselves in hitting the snot out of people, and when we do it, we're amped up. It makes it easier as coaches. Like you got kids that want to hit, and you got kids that want to fly down and fill gaps. I mean, that's easy life for a D coach for sure.
Does that aggressiveness and that attitude carry over to the offense as well?
I don't think so. And the reason is that we have to be. We're kind of playing, and I'm finding out as only my second game as an O coordinator, we kind of have to play like the chess match. And I think myself as being a D coordinator before, I think it kind of helps me understand what some defenses are running and how to attack certain things. And or maybe I just got really lucky these first 2 weeks. I don't know, man. So, either I know what I'm doing, maybe, or I just got really lucky. But we kind of try to slow things down and in our mind, and then play fast and physical off the ball. On defense, we want to swarm and attack and just get after it. But yeah, I think offensively we're a little bit different. But I mean, you come to one of our practices, you're seeing me and Huffman just getting amped up for our defense, and we're trying to fly down, and we're always excited and amped up on defense.
One of the things I think you've done well as a first-time offensive coordinator is deal with the adversity you've been dealt. Your projected starting quarterback was injured before the season, and you go to a freshman, and my goodness, Kaysen Augsburg has been really, really good. And then he gets hurt last week, and you have to get creative, and you've got You've got Wyatt running some single wing, it looks like, and JT, who's been such a revelation. And you guys, he talked about it. You moved him to running back kind of for the first time this year, and he's taken that like a fish to water. You've got some kids that kind of uniquely, fit who you are. And I forgot to even mention, at this point, Pierce and what he's done to this point for you. You've got some really fun pieces in that offense to kind of play around with.
Yeah, we spread the ball. We spread the love a lot, and it's a lot of fun. The best part about our team is that we're just so selfless. No one cares who's getting the ball. No one cares who's getting the touchdowns. We care about that final score on that scoreboard right now, and that's really exciting. As my first time here and having a team that is like that, it's completely unreal. And I just think me and my staff have been just doing a great job with trying to promote that, and it's team over me, and those guys, they just took it and run with it.
Well, and I think one thing people don't necessarily see, or maybe don't see day in and day out, is a kid like Ryland Compton, who's there helping Kaysen Augsburg, who, okay, yes, I'm hurt, I'm out right now, but he's not over there having a pity party or anything. He's a team guy. He's going to do whatever he can to help the guys around him, even if it is as from the sideline. Is that true?
Well, he's a fantastic leader. Fantastic. He's one of the best, and that's why he walks next to me when we go out for that coin toss, because even though he went down, as soon as he went down, next day, in with Kaysen, talking to him, trying to help him out. Hey, we see this, we got to do this. Hey, on this play, you got to make sure you do this, and always keeping him calm and level-headed. And then sometimes he juices him up a little bit on the sidelines, and that's always funny. And then I got to try to calm him back down so he can understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, Ryland, he's such a great kid. I love that kid. I'm really excited for when he comes back.
2 years ago, the notion of Palmyra playing Macon in an important game seemed kind of, distant and off way in the distance, because both those programs were struggling pretty badly. Here you are, you flipped it around to this point, Justin, so nicely. So have they. I mean, they gave North Callaway a very highly respected program, all they could handle last week before finally succumbing. This is a big test for you, and it's a big test for them, for Macon as well. That says an awful lot about the volition of these kids to be able to turn things around at both programs so quickly.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of heard a little bit about Macon, and I obviously know about ourselves, but I know we're a young program, a lot of young kids the last couple years, and we're both growing, and that's exciting. That makes exciting football in the area, and just being able to have a high-level conference game and a district game on a Friday night, man, that's what Friday night football is all about. I mean, that's fun. That's a great atmosphere. We're really excited to go there. We know they're a tough team. We respect the heck out of them, but we're looking just to play our game and get after it.
Coach, I know you had some interesting games the first 2 weeks with some really good opponents and some regional kind of rivalries. Did you take a moment at all to look around the stadium and look at what the Palmyra crowd was like and what it was like to coach at Palmyra?
I tried to, but then my heart started racing really bad, and I had to chill out a little bit. There's nothing like it. I never coached in anything like that before at Charleston for 14 years, and I'm not trying to bash them or anything at all. Like, I love that place. That's a big part of my life and everything. But like the atmosphere at Palmyra, just walking out when we lift our weight room door, and there's a line of people giving us high fives and screaming for us, and we get on the field, and I look up, and the stands are packed. Heck, even the away stands are packed, and then we come in at halftime. There's another tunnel. We come out at the end of the game. People are blaring music. We're having fun. I mean, that's what high school football is all about. That's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
I looked up into the crowd because I had the chance after you recovered one of a number of onside kicks in the second half to really kind of go for the jugular against Bowling Green, and mad respect to the kid up in the crowd dancing with a lightsaber or whatever that was, because that made me laugh for a good 3 minutes. But you do touch on that, because I think when a football program can give a community a sense of pride back, that's what's the most special thing about high school athletics in all. And right now, your community is incredibly proud. You have to feel that. And you touched on how they made you feel like family right from the get start when you got there. But to be able to go out and see that your kids are making Palmyra feel better about Palmyra has to give you, before you even get to the wins and losses, just such a sense of joy and relief that you've landed in the right place.
Yeah, I'm truly blessed. I really am. I prayed a lot before I took this job, and God to lead me what path that I needed to go, and I guess He chose Palmyra for me, and I couldn't be more happy. Every day I go to work, and it's truly a blessing. I get to see the people in the community. It's truly a blessing. It's fantastic being here. And yes, getting to watch the boys make the hometown proud. I mean, that's so awesome. The student section is unreal, and I guess it's the biggest one since it's been for a very long time, and they're fun to like celebrate with when we get back to school on Monday, and it's just great. It's a great atmosphere.
Well, Coach, you guys are off to a great start. Keep working hard, because you know as well as anyone, the hard work pays off.
Yes.
So.
Yes, it does.
Well, good luck Friday night.
We got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, we understand. Well, good luck Friday night at Macon. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule tonight to join us here on Monday Night Lights.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Absolutely.
That was Palmyra coach Justin Hutchkins joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. Again, the Panthers go to Macon this Friday night. 2-0 team, off to a fantastic start, and Palmyra is energized right now.
It is, and you're going to Hugh Dunn Field, one of the best venues in the entire Tri-States. Yep. When they're energized, and they are, I think that's going to be electric come Friday night.
Well, we'll see. We'll have coverage of that game, along with a bunch of other games coming up Saturday morning in the Muddy River Blitz, electrified by Excel Physical Therapy.
Indeed, it's been fun.
It has been. So let's take a break. When we come back, oh, imagine this. We got another 2-0 coach waiting to talk to us.
Maybe the most surprising of all to this point.
Maybe so, but a team that plays. We heard Justin Hutchkins talk about playing hard, playing aggressive. Unity pays and plays hard.
That's the cornerstone of who they are.
Exactly. So we're going to talk to Matt Woodworth when we come back. So stick around. This is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Does the thought of retirement overwhelm you? You are not alone. For over 25 years, Benson Financial Group has helped people just like you craft a plan to retire with purpose. Call us today in Quincy and Hannibal.
Top 5 reasons you should choose
Blessing Raymond College.
Small classes, peer tutoring, and lots of personal attention.
Financial aid opportunities, including grants, scholarship, and loan forgiveness.
Successful outcomes, from pass rates to job placement.
Hands-on learning, clinical experience at multiple sites, and no wait list.
The Simulation Center.
Master clinical skills in this state-of-the-art facility.
Be ready for anything.
What are you waiting for?
Enroll with Blessing Raymond College today.
Neiman's, your neighborhood market.
Ready to retire on your terms? At Benson Financial Group, it's about more than money. It's about purpose. With over 25 years of experience, our team works together to craft a plan that fits your goals and values in Quincy and Hannibal.
Are you as excited as we are that football season is back? Then you need to make Jersey's your one-stop destination for mouth-watering burgers, ice-cold beer, and all your local sporting events. So gather your crew and speed over to one of Jersey's 2 locations, 109 East Jefferson and Camp Point, or 115 East Main Street, Mount Sterling. Jersey's Bar and Grill, your hometown sports bar.
We love beer!
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply, coming to you from downtown Quincy in the CDS Office Technology Studio. Matt Shuckman, Chris Dewar. It's been a fun Monday evening so far.
We've had incredible guests. I think some of the best answers and responses we've had so far this season. And we've got a guy who's got an awful lot to talk to us about after what he and his team engineered in the second half last week.
No doubt about it. We're going to go to the Hess Auto Agency hotline and be joined by Unity Pacing coach Matt Woodworth. Coach, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic.
Are your guys still riding high a little bit from that second half comeback last week?
I think they're feeling pretty good about it. I told them after the game and again today at the beginning of practice before we started watching film that I said let's not put ourselves in that position to begin with next time. they're causing me some extra gray hairs doing that.
Well, you did respond though, and that's a really hard thing to do given the opponent you had and the place you were. What went right for your kids to flip that script completely on its ear? Because you did not play a very good first half of football.
No, we didn't. We came out at the beginning of the game, and Carrollton was definitely the aggressor. They were playing with more energy than we were. And we had a miscommunication and a pick six there early on that kind of went from down 7-0 to 14-0, 2 plays later, and it took some wind out of our sails. And we just felt like we were kind of fighting to just keep our head above water all first half. We kind of talked some things over with the boys at halftime, and we told them, look, we're just there's no 21-point plays. We've got to keep believing, and we got to fight our way back in one play at a time. And coming out of halftime, we got a couple good things going on offense, and I think got some confidence in ourselves. And then it was just a long, slow fight, and we never gave up. And the more things went for us, then I think Carrollton lost a little confidence, and it just kind of it kept rolling downhill in our favor and away from them. So. I give my boys a ton of credit. It being down 21-0 at halftime, like you said, especially against a very good team in Carrollton at a hostile environment like Carrollton is. It's a long drive down there. They've always got great fans, tough program, tough team, and it just our kids didn't give up. It had been very easy to just kind of tuck tail and try to get through the end of the game, and they kept fighting, and it paid off for us.
What was the message at halftime? Were you guys pretty calm? Was it pretty fiery, or what was halftime like? Us coaches kind of took some time to talk some things out, and a few adjustments that we wanted to make. It honestly was a lot calmer halftime than you would think for the half of football we had just played. Like I said, 21-0's a big hole, especially to a good team like that on the road. But, we talked through some things that just, and a lot of it was just small fundamental things that we needed to correct. But when you have 2 or 3 people making a mistake or a fundamental error on every play, it adds up.
So we got some of those things corrected. And like I said, a lot of it was just, believing in ourselves. I told him, I said, we're not out of this game, but, we've got to fight, and, we just got to worry about winning one play at a time. We came out and we got the ball first. And like I said, we just, we got a couple things going. Sawyer was, didn't have a whole lot of time in the first half throwing the ball. We had a couple mistakes and communication errors up front, and so that was getting frustrating for him. But at the same time, he scrambles and does a very good job buying time in the pocket and moving out. But he was doing it, and not looking to run, but he was still trying to throw the ball. And I pulled him aside and I told him, I said, you need to take off and run, because he does so well and does so many good things when he does. And, that first drive coming out of halftime, he did take that opportunity and ran for 15, 20 yards. And it changes how defense, will defend you. They can't be near as aggressive, and it took its toll. And I think that kind of, set the tone, coming out of halftime. And then we went down and got a score, and then one of our linebackers, Justin Cram, got an interception that, kind of took some wind out of Carrollton's sails. And we just, again, we took the momentum that we had and just kept fighting. And, it was a long, slow climb, but we finally got out of it.
To come back from a deficit like that, to have a second half like you had, you have to have kids that step up as leaders, to be a voice on the field. Sounds like Sawyer was one of those guys. But did your experienced players kind of come to the forefront there and lead this team in the second half?
Yes. We lost a couple of guys to injury that night. So we had some replacement players out there, especially a couple that were getting their first varsity reps, other than maybe special teams in the second half of that game. So that was a little bit of concern, but we had, veteran players playing next to them. And that definitely helped, not only keep them calm and focused, but, kind of minimized any issues we had there. And I think it helped at the end of last season. We came down from being 20 points down to Pleasant Hill late in the year and came back and tied it and won in double overtime. So, I think that helped give these young men the confidence that, they know we're never out of any game. And, they did it once, and I think that probably helped with that confidence level, and just, keep working at it, and, like they did. And, Blake Arnsman had, a lot of real nice, catches, good routes. Blake and Kendall and Cole Ray as well. They run scramble drills so well when Sawyer gets flushed out of the pocket. They're all moving around. They never quit working, and they're all very good about finding an opening, an open hole, and either running to it or going and sitting in it. So he's got options to throw the ball or run, which always makes you a dangerous team once the quarterback breaks the pocket. But, I really think that, doing it last year and now again this year, I hope that gives them the confidence to know that we're never out of any game, and we always got an opportunity to get back in it.
Matt, I think people knew that if Sawyer was back and able to go, that you were going to be pretty good offensively, because they kind of know the catalyst thing with you. I've been super impressed with just how gritty you are defensively. Pleasant Hill Western's probably got as much speed as they've had in years, and obviously Carrollton has two of the very best singular offensive individuals in the entire conference, and you've met that challenge 2 weeks in a row, and you found a way to get stops. What's your defensive identity? How has that come together this quickly? Who are the guys that are kind of being the pillar pieces of what you're doing on that side of the ball right now?
Yeah, we've got a new defensive coordinator this year, and Zach Cook. He's been a long-time coach on the staff, and he moved up to defensive coordinator this year. We just been trying to preach, keep things simple and be aggressive. Do your job and be aggressive. In the first half, we had some issues. We were getting a little too far upfield on our defensive front. I think, trying to do a little more pass rush than taking care of the run first. And Carrollton was, kind of gashing us on the ground a little bit. That was another kind of halftime adjustment that we really talked to the kids about, stop the run first and, control your gap. And we did a much better job. Didn't give them those big running lanes. We've got several new players up front on the defensive line. A couple, bigger kids, and Aiden Canal and, you know, Trenton Jones. We've got a new varsity player in Troy Miller, who's a very athletic, you know, explosive defensive end off the edge, you know, but it's a new position for him. So we're still trying to, you know, teach him some of those, you know, the fundamental and the fine-tuned things with him a little bit. You know, and we've got a couple, you know, linebackers. You know, Justin Cram, you know, is a rock in the middle of our defense. He's not overly athletic, but he's a kid that finds the ball. He never quits working, and he's where he's supposed to be when he's supposed to be. And then in the secondary, we brought back, you know, pretty much everybody that started last year. So we've got a lot of experience back there, which just allows us to do some things up front because we know those guys are going to be where they're supposed to be and take care of business on the back end.
Coach, you've seen some of the WIVC South. Now you get to see the North, and we know what's ahead. It's going to be a dogfight each and every week, isn't it?
It is. You know, we're getting into the conference week now, starting this week. You know, and that's always the most important part of the schedule. You know, starting every year, you know, you always want to make the playoffs, but you know, in the back of your mind, you know, you want to give yourself an opportunity to win the conference and have a shot at that. You know, we've got a good Beardstown team that we're facing this week. And then beyond that, you know, we've got Brown County and Central right after that. You know, they're always very tough teams. You know, clearly the WIVC North runs through Central. You know, I don't know what the number is now, 8 out of 11 years or, you know, whatever that they've won the conference since they've joined it. You know, until somebody proves they can dethrone them, they're the gold standard and what we got to work to beat. But you know, at the same time, you know, the conference top to bottom, both North and South, it is very tough, and you know, it does a good job preparing you to make a run in the playoffs, you know, if you can get there. So you know, we're look forward to the challenge, and you know, hope we can continue to play well and you know, eventually put together a full 4 quarters of football. You know, Pleasant Hill, we played a very good first 2.5 quarters and then kind of, you know, got a little sloppy at the end. And obviously here this past week, you know, we didn't play well in the first half and got our act together and did very well in the second. So, you know, if we can ever get a full 4 quarters in, you know, we're going to be a very dangerous team. And I think we can give a lot of people fits and, you know, give ourselves an opportunity to win in every game we play.
Well, Coach, I know you got a big one Friday night in the WIVC North against Beardstown on the road. We look forward to seeing your team. We'll have coverage of you guys on Friday night, and really appreciate you taking the time to join us tonight.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach, good luck Friday night, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.
That was Unity Pace and Coach Matt Woodworth joining us on the Hess Auto Agency hotline. Again, 2-0 Mustangs heading to Beardstown this week for the WIVC North lid lifter.
The first team in the North to see the new regime at Beardstown, to see the new scheme. So and that was a Beardstown team that put a lot of points on the board in the season opener against North Green.
Correct.
And then got a reality check last week. So this is sort of now what, you know, with both these teams. So I'm anxious to see what actually transpires in Beardstown coming up on Friday night.
I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's take a break. When we come back,
what's it time for?
You want to shuck them up?
I think it's time to shuck them up.
Let's shuck them up. We'll be back with Shuck 'em Up, brought to you by Platte Daddy Barbecue. When we return, this is Monday Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
So what separates us most from all the other dealerships? It's the Toyota brand itself.
Once they buy a Toyota, they never buy anything else. #1 vehicle on the market, the best sedan on the market, some of the best reliable trucks on the market. And our main goal here is to try and get our customers the best payment possible.
We know the process and we pass that along to you.
We're simply looking to buy vehicles off the street.
And we want all makes and models of vehicles.
And you don't even have to buy anything in return. We'll just simply purchase it from you.
We can purchase a vehicle in 10 or 15 minutes or less.
We believe that accessing care close to home is better for you and better for your family. For 120 years, Hannibal Regional has been committed to providing community-based, contemporary health care. From state-of-the-art surgical care to innovative cancer care, and now life-saving open-heart surgery. We are dedicated to expanding access to exceptional care in each of the communities we serve. Hannibal Regional. Why go anywhere else?
Meet us at the Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
The home of Quincy's best cheeseburger is now under new ownership. All our time-tested menu items, along with some great new additions, all cooked on our perfectly seasoned grill, are waiting for you.
New wings and new sauces.
Ice cold buckets at some of the best prices in town.
Or even in a frosted mug.
Corner bar comfort for your favorite game on 7 big screens. Or play your own game and win big.
The Scoreboard, 8th in York and Quincy.
For 135 years, State Street Bank has stood as a pillar of trust and stability in Quincy, Illinois. For generations, families have trusted State Street Bank to be part of their biggest moments. We look forward to the future with gratitude and excitement. Thank you for being part of our journey. State Street Bank, 135 years of banking you can trust.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Welcome back to Monday Night Lights, live from the CDS Office Technology Studios in downtown Quincy.
Chris Stewart, it's been a fun Monday night.
It has been an outstanding Monday night.
Yes.
Great job. You always do a great job with guests. I thought you outdid yourself tonight.
Fantastic guys. It was great that we had 3 2-0 coaches all able to join us. I know Monday, we talked about Friday nights being tough with coaches being on the road, and Monday night gives them a chance to digest what had taken place on Friday night, watch film, kind of be ready for what we might ask them. But then I've also learned that they have JV games on Monday night. Yeah. So these guys, but they're all very gracious and trying to find time for us, and we really appreciate that. But their lives are football.
There are, but
24/7.
We also get Jackson Moore tonight, which we wouldn't have had on a Friday night, which was outstanding as well.
He was fantastic, and we look forward to continuing to bring players into the studio. I know we've had Quincy Notre Dame and Quincy High School the last 2 weeks. We're going to try to get some players from the area. I don't know if it's going to work with their schedules and by the time they get done with film and whatever else they have going on Monday. But we're good. That's the goal, is to bring you more players as well as coaches. And we didn't have any college talk this week too much. Quincy University lost on Saturday at Roosevelt. Culver Stockton lost at Mid-American Nazarene. WIU lost, at Northwestern. But there's better days ahead for all of them.
Particularly for the Leathernecks who've gone Illinois Northwestern. Yeah, that's not easy.
And I know in chatting in preseason with Joe Davis, he said he'll join us at some point. So we're going to make that work with his schedule.
And we want to talk to Joe when he's got his feet on an even keel, not when he's taking money games.
Exactly.
And having to take up. I mean, Illinois is, it pains you and me to probably say this, Illinois is legit good this year.
But so are our Tigers.
So are our Tigers.
Rock Chalk Chicken Hawk. It was a great Saturday.
It was a good Saturday.
We need a Mizzou helmet in here soon. We got to make it happen. Got to make it happen.
You know what? What else we need to make happen?
What's that?
It's your favorite part of Monday night.
Ooh, we're going to shuck them up.
We're going to shuck them up.
Thank you, Coach Q, for this idea. Love it. And I think our constituents out there, the players and stuff, are getting a kick out of it.
They are.
Because you got one from Friday night.
I did, and a little setup because we've talked about from the preseason on, Hannibal's defense has a chance to be something special, and it's all the names you already know at this point. We had a new name and a new number emerge.
And who was that?
The 18 was all over the field. So, and particularly on a kickoff return that might be our shuck 'em up moment of the week. Should we let the video speak?
Shuck 'em up.
Shuck 'em up!
Shuck 'em up, brought to you by Platt Daddy Barbecue. Love the Jeremy Platt shout out in the beginning of that video.
Yeah, him doing his LeBron thing will never get old.
No, it never will. But a great play by one of the America's hometown's best.
Yeah, and I think of what we've seen from Hannibal to this point, that defense is inordinately special. They're not going to allow. I mean, you hold Elias to what, 24 points?
Yeah,
that's pretty special. So obviously, a lot of guys have a hand in on it, and Hannibal. Again, big test this week with Troy Buchanan.
Yeah.
But man, I think they're positioned very, very nicely.
Yeah, this isn't Lutheran St. Charles this week.
No, it's not. But again, I don't think this is your typical garden variety standard issue Hannibal defense either.
No,
it's something special.
Well, and I think the fact that they fell behind Elias in week 1, then locked in, and I know they gave up the field goal right at the end of regulation to lose that game. But the way they shut down Elias for 2.5 quarters was impressive.
Yeah, it was. And, I think it was also impressive this week to come out and make a statement, regardless of who your opponent was. Yeah. I mean, you saw Cade Hoskins on the first play from scrimmage go 58 yards. I still am baffled by the kid from Lutheran who just stood there and turned around and watched and looked around as he ran past.
If you go back and watch our Muddy River Blitz highlights from Hannibal, you'll see it. And yeah, I was not a good night for
that poor kid is not going to want to see that on film.
No, not at all. We're going to take a break. Thank you, Platt Daddy Barbecue, for sponsoring Shuck 'em Up. And again, we're working to get T-shirts for all of our winners of Shuck 'em Up. So, and who knows, maybe we'll do something special at the end of football season.
I look forward to it.
We're going to see what we can work out. Anyway, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll wrap up, take a look at week 3, and head into week 3. Here on Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.
Since 1929, we've been here to serve our communities with the best products and the best service. You are the reason we go to work every day, and we thank you for that. After all, we live where you do.
Area Distributors is a provider of products and services in the restaurant environment, the school environment, the factory environment, the office environment, and in healthcare settings.
That's the value of Area Distributors, is that we help our customers out by providing them more product as one distributor.
I can tell you, if you call us and have a need, you're going to get timely response.
It's all about passion.
How do you get more value but pay less? Well, try one of our family of private brands for a private brand bonanza happening now at your local Farm and Home Supply. In clothing, we got 25% off all Noble work pants for both men and women. And check out the thread grip flannels under 30 bucks. Moving to our pet department, we have a wide selection. Get $10 off the Wild Algae dog food, $8 off the Wild Algae cat food, and then $4 off the Heartland Harvest dog food. If you got some work to do in the garage, we got 5 quarts of motor oil from Harvest King for $14.99 or degreasing wipes for under 10 bucks. Find all these deals and a lot more right now at farmandhomesupply.com.
Since 1985, Hess Auto Agency has been your trusted source for pre-owned vehicles in the tri-state area. Families have experienced the Hess difference for generations and know they'll get the best vehicle buying experience in our region. With an ever-changing inventory, you'll find the right car at the right price. So when you want the best, don't guess. Choose Hess. Hess Auto Agency, 1124 North 24th in Quincy.
My philosophy in pediatrics is definitely prevention, early intervention, and advocacy. Being an advocate for my patients is one of the main reasons why I got into pediatrics in the first place. I like working close with families and being able to empower moms, especially first-time moms, or empower any caregiver. MDH Peds gives that family-centered care. My name is Leilani Segura, and I am a pediatrician at McDonough Districts Hospital.
Welcome back to Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. I'm Muddy River Sports Editor Matt Shuckman, alongside my counterpart, Sports Director Chris Dewar.
Been a heck of a night. Good Monday. Quality first 2 weeks of the season. We're rolling.
Yeah, we are. And we got a big week ahead of us. some interesting games. We didn't talk much about the college scene.
Okay.
So Quincy University, obviously coming off the loss to Roosevelt, has a bye this week. So no chance of winning, no chance of losing.
Is it Lincoln next for them?
Yes.
Okay.
And
in Jefferson City.
In Jefferson City.
Reed Stadium.
6:30 p.m. kickoff,
Okay.
I believe, is what time that is on Saturday, September 20th.
Okay.
So, but our other two college football teams from our region do play this week.
Okay.
One at home, one on the road. Culver Stockton with a 7:30 p.m. kickoff in Fulton, Missouri, at William Woods.
The Fighting Owls?
Fighting Owls. So we'll see if Culver can bounce back from the loss to nationally ranked Mid-American Nazarene.
Right.
And then up the road in Macomb, Western Illinois has its home opener, taking on the Fighting Ben Marths. Valparaiso, 6 p.m. kickoff at Hanson Field on Saturday night. It'll be good for the Leathernecks to get home, get away from the Power 5 conferences, or P4s or whatever they're calling it. It always changes. So
yeah, it changes.
The big boys.
Yes. So, yes, and a much more winnable game for the Leathernecks and a much better rubric on who Joe Davis's team actually is after Northwestern Illinois. It certainly was like the tour of the land of Lincoln in the worst possible way, but there you go.
So, so Leathernecks at home. So it's some interesting Saturday night football. So if you're and I know the Leathernecks, I believe their game is going to be televised on ESPN Plus.
It is.
So if you want to check out the Leathernecks, you can log on to ESPN Plus if you have that streaming service and check out the Leathernecks.
It's a good 48 hours of football for our area going forward with all our Friday games, 3 high school games on Saturday, 2 college games on Saturday, and hopefully a chance for the Quincy University Hawks to learn from their mistakes, which they made plentiful, in Chicago, and get better, because that's what the name of the game is. Same for Culver Stockton, same for Western Illinois moving forward.
And again, there are pieces to that Hawk team that are young.
Yeah.
So this is a good learning moment for those guys. And that's what, and I'll be writing about that this week. I had a chance to talk to Jason Kilday after the game. There are some moments there that they need to learn from.
Right.
There were some mistakes made. And again, I think they walk away with a victory, potentially, if they get that last first down. Because it was right at the sticks, bang, bang play. Marked them just a little short of the sticks, so they went for the field goal, missed the field goal. If they can go a couple more plays, maybe get closer field goal or maybe get into the end zone, it feels a lot better being 2-0, walking away from there and going, okay, we can fix these mistakes. Doesn't feel as good trying to fix those mistakes. It's a little more dire when you walk away from week 2 with a loss. But I don't give up hope on this team. This team's got some serious talent.
Here's the weird thing about that Roosevelt offense. They had 3 guys in the backfield, or backfield wide receivers, who were less than 5'5".
Wow.
Just speedy as all get out, but looked like they were kids, little kids. And, the Hawk defense had been so good in the second half, other than a 56-yard touchdown that changed everything.
Yep.
So it was a weird game, man. A weird game from start to finish.
So we will have coverage of the Hawks when they go back to playing on September 20th. We'll have coverage of the Wildcats and the Leathernecks this weekend. And then we'll have a full slate of high school football coverage.
Should be a really, really good Friday and Saturday. Yeah. It's almost like a double blitz this weekend.
Yeah, because you and I are both be on the road Saturday for high school games. Still working out the kinks to the schedule on Saturday. Hopefully we can get Shane Holsey up to WIU for the home opener against Valpo. That would be a good fit if we can work that out.
We'll see what transpires.
Yeah, so again, make sure you check out the Muddy River Blitz on Saturday morning. It's been fun the first couple of weeks. I like that our staff has adapted to this idea of trying to put as much out there, getting some video interviews when they're at the games, trying to get some video of touchdown plays. It's not all on your shoulders to get all the video.
No, it hasn't been, and they've done an incredible job, and Shane's done an incredible job with the games that he's covered, and we've just, I think, we're learning each week, and we're getting better each week, like the football teams.
So, and make sure you check out the Schottenkirk Toyota scoreboard. We'll have it posted on Friday night as soon as I can get home and get it done and posted.
The most popular thing we do. Who knew?
Yeah, but a lot of people have clicked on it, and again, it's one place where you can get all the scores from all of our area teams right at your fingertips.
And there's value in that, clearly.
Yep. So, and again, thank you to our sponsors for bringing us Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply, right here from the CDS Office Technology Studio, the Hess Auto Agency Hotline, and everybody else that's helping along the Shuck and Crew Toyota scoreboard and schedules. It's been a fun week 3. Let's do week 4.
I think we can do it. Next Monday, same time, same place.
Sounds good to me.
I'm here.
For Chris Dewar, I'm Matt Shuckman. This has been another episode of Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply.